So part of this that we look at is the Keller Williams 6 personal perspectives. And when we go to the 6 personal perspectives, I'm going to give you an overview of each one of these and how they apply to what you are looking at as a real estate agent. I know that the successful agents are constantly cycling back to these particular principles that we have found to be successful within Keller Williams. It's committing to self-mastery. It's committing to the 80-20 principle. It's moving from E to P. Again, another acronym that we'll talk about. I'll talk about a little bit more. Agents that are successful make being learning-based the foundation of their action plan. They're constantly working on removing limiting beliefs, and they put themselves in a place to be accountable. So the specifics, let's go into number 1, committing to self-mastery. Those agents that commit to self-mastery, and this applies not just to real estate agents, these are business and timeless principles that you can look at. But committing to self-mastery means that you know your goals. See, you stumbled upon that, say, this particular segment, and you're talking about what you can do with Ignite and how that can help your career. Do you have a goal of how quickly you're going to finish this course? Are you going to get it done in 30 days? Are you going to commit your goal to go and have it done in 45 days, 60 days? Set a goal and know what your goal is, and then stick to it. Be willing to evaluate what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and know how to work with both your strengths and weaknesses to seek and master that knowledge, skills, and habits that you need to be able to reach your goals. So I'm going to go over and make sure myself, as I'm covering these, that I go through and find the particular items that are in there. Are you committed to self-mastery? That is, are you committed to knowing what your goals are, your strengths, your weaknesses? Are you committed to acquiring the knowledge and skills and habits to be successful in your business? Here's what I would love to see you do. I would love for you to go through, watch this particular episode, and then turn to your productivity coach within your office, turn to other agents within your office, or send myself a message if you have questions. That way you would be seeking out and seeking to understand what it is that you need to work on and how you could improve upon your weaknesses and be able to go through that. The second part of the 6 personal perspectives is the 80-20 principle. Now, one way to put this is that we know over the years, economists have proved this, studies have proved this, that 20% of your actions lead to 80% of your results. Think back to when you were in the real estate class and then it came time to study. Going through those sample test questions, going through the flashcards, that was the 20%, the focus that you had to have that would lead to 80% of your results. Same thing applies within real estate, and Ignite is going to show you what the 20% is that you need to be focused on. Moving from E to P. Now, this is a principle that we like to talk about, that the E would stand for the entrepreneurial approach. I myself like to break it down to say also that really what I'm doing is that if I approach something in an easy manner, if I do it just strictly out of energy, I got my real estate license, I'm all excited, here we go, I'm gonna start in on this, and you do that from energy, that you have a natural ceiling of achievement. You only know what you know and you don't know what you don't know, and that will only get you so far. And you have an opportunity by doing that you would hit that ceiling of achievement, and then you would get into a point of potentially disappointment, resignation. You'd start looking for greener pastures. This real estate thing isn't working out. Maybe I need to try something else. And then you are in a cycle that you may have found yourself in before. The P portion, moving from E to P, is that you start to do things purposefully. So there'll be times here when I go through this course where I'm going to say, pause this, pause it, finish the activity, and then come back. Are you truly going to be purposeful about this? Are you going to make a plan? Are you going to have a process? Is there going to be a set time that you're going to look at these sessions and be able to go through this? Because that focus and following models allows you to have the systems in place so that you can go to have breakthroughs. It's a concept called E to P. Now, being learning based as a foundation of this is that if you just only do trivial pursuits, you hear something secondhand, you watch something on HGTV and you say, oh, I'll try that. You see somebody else doing it and you go through and you say, well, I know what I know, but I'm not really going to dig deeper and try to find out other things. Versus being learning based is we break through another ceiling of achievement and we really start to look at two areas. We start to have enlightenment inside. We start to discover, hey, I should try this. This might be something that would work. I'm going to apply a model because other successful agents have done this before. Why don't I give it a try and do the work? That inner enlightenment starts to then show, not on day one, but it starts to show in outside productivity. I like to think of this and use the analogy of planting a seed. You wouldn't plant a seed and then put the dirt over the top of it and then water it and then the very next day turn around and dig it up to see if it's grown. You would give it the time and the effort and the energy and the sunlight and the proper moisture to allow that seed to have an opportunity to grow and then potentially blossom. The food that you need in being a successful real estate agent or successful in any pursuit is being learning based. And the learning never ends. I'm 23 plus years with Keller Williams, 25 years in the real estate industry, and learning is a foundation of everything that I do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis in order to get better in my career. You see, I'm neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious. Albert Einstein. It's a great quote. We're also going to work on removing some of the limiting beliefs. The limiting belief of I don't have enough time to do training. I've got all these other types of things. I've got kids at home. I've got another job. I have these types of things. The market's down a bit in my area. I can't be successful in this market. There are agents being successful in this marketplace right now. Whether at the time you're watching this, it's a good market, bad market, slow market, whatever it is, there are still people buying, selling, and investing in real estate. And then you also have a limiting belief, maybe I can't devote the amount of time. The time that you can devote, make sure that you do, make sure you focus, and that you will unlimit your thinking and get to a point where you are not in a box, that you have unlimited beliefs. Because I've never met you, maybe I have met you, but I believe that if you follow the systems and models that are laid out in this program, that you have a fighting chance to be successful no matter what the real estate market is. That's my belief for you. Are you going to choose to adopt that for yourself? See, this goes to the 6 personal perspective of the being accountable. There are 2 sides to this particular chart that we're looking at. If we look at the left side, life happens, reality shows up. And then are you going to ask questions, or are you going to just bury your head in the sand and take on a victim mentality from this? Oh my goodness, the this and that and what's going on, and you're deflecting, and I've got this excuse and that excuse, and well, I'll just wait a bit. Versus, hey, this is the reality of what the situation is. People need my help to buy and sell homes. Do I have the skill sets? Have I worked hard to be able to do this? Have I found the solutions or taking the training that I need to be accountable and make the changes that I need to make? These are going to provide a foundation for everything that we do within Keller Williams. We call these our 6 personal perspectives. And there are full classes on each one of these segments that you can take as refreshers as you go throughout your career. But this provides us a foundation. And some of these items, when I talk about it being a foundation, we're providing this so that we are speaking a common language. Now, when I bring up to you E to P, I don't need to explain everything all over again. You know what I'm referring to. The 80-20 principle. What should I be focused on? Am I being a victim? Or am I being accountable and actually showing up and knowing that I'm committed to change? These are some of the things that we can look at. Happiness is not an individual sport. We want to connect with others. We want to connect with these types of situations. I would love to hear your comments on what you've gotten out of the 6 personal perspectives so that we can talk about this a little bit more. That's what we talk about, ahas. You have an aha. You have something that you've thought of. I've also heard that ahas are really agents helping agents. So leave a comment here below the video. What's something that you got about the 6 personal perspectives? It may be a month from now, 3 months from now, that somebody else comes and looks at this, and this will help them to be able to discover something.